welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a super chill get ready with me, and also we'll be answering some questions so that you can get to know me better. A couple of days ago I posted on my story to send in some questions, get to know me a little better. So grab your coffee and let's hang out. Okay, to get started, I'm gonna moisturize my face really quickly. I just washed my face and I brushed my teeth as well. I like to go in with like an oil, kind of like a bio oil, to kind of help smoothen and hydrate my face. And I let this kind of sit in for about like 3 minutes before I apply my makeup. Alright, so first things first, my name is Litzi I, 24 years old, and I am from Phoenix, Arizona. I was born and raised in Phoenix, and I recently just moved to Vegas about 2.5, almost 2 years ago. It's about to be 2 years of me moving from Phoenix to Las Vegas, and honestly, it hasn't been that big of a change. I mean, the culture is very, very different, if I'm being honest. Like, Vegas was so new to me. With my husband, I have never been to Vegas, so when I first came to visit, it was like kind of like a big culture shock because of like the casinos and the strip. It was just very different. When you think of Vegas, obviously you think of the casinos and you think of the strip and all of that, but there's just so much more than that. Life outside of the strip is what I have been living, and it's been really fun. I've experienced a lot of new things in this past 2 years that I'm really grateful for, and I thank God for allowing me to be able to live in this experience. I always knew I was gonna leave Phoenix, but I just didn't know how. It was just kind of something that I would always say, but I never actually planned it. And then I met my husband, which is my next question. I've been married for 1 year and 10 months. Which is so crazy, and it blows my mind how it's almost about to be 2 years. We got married on September 29th of 2023. Let me tell you, it's been an adventure, but I love being married. My husband's name is Gilberto Maldonado, and he is born and raised in Vegas. So how we met was through a dating app, which I know there's a lot of horror stories about dating apps. Trust me, I was super hesitant as well when I met him. I mean, we have a whole story. We can do a whole story time on how we met and all of that, but we met online, and things just kind of worked out, and yeah, and now we're here. We're living in Las Vegas. Another question that I get as well is, how many kids do I want, or do we want? So this has been kind of up in the air. I know, like, right now with our church friends, like, we're kind of like the next couple to have kids, which we feel the pressure sometimes, but I know that, like, for me, I would love to have kids right now. Like, emotionally, I feel like I'm ready, I would love to, but when I really sit and think about it, honestly, I just feel like right now it's just not the time for us to have kids. I just feel like there's so much that we want to accomplish still, and you know, I love our lifestyle. I mean, it's just the two of us, and you know, we have the freedom to do what we want to do, you know, to travel and stuff, which we have done, and it's been amazing. It's been great, and I feel like we're really just enjoying that season of just it being us two. But I think eventually we would want to have kids. How many, I don't know yet. I mean, we're debating between maybe like 2 to 4. We both come from really big families, but I don't know if we would go. I mean, I feel like it changes. I feel like sometimes we say 2, sometimes we say 4, and stuff, but there's nothing that is like for certain yet, and that's okay. I don't think we need to have everything figured out. We don't have everything figured out, and that's okay. We're living day by day, so we're just having, you know, fun right now with us two, and we feel really happy. So what's something that people assume of you that is true? I feel like I don't want to say the basic of like, everyone thinks that I'm mean because I look mean, but I don't know if people think that of me. I think people assume that I spend a lot of money on like shopping, that I'm like a big spender in that way, and I do love to shop, trust me, I really do, but I love a good deal. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I love thrifting, I love going secondhand, going to vintage shops, and you know, and markets and stuff like that. I've always just been, you know, someone who, I don't know, likes a good deal. Every now and then I do like to splurge on stuff, you know, that is good quality. I feel like it's better to, you know, have good quality things than things that are cheaper that are only gonna last you like a week. So that's kind of what I've been thinking about a lot. I recently like cleaned my closet and went through a lot of the clothes that, you know, I just feel like it's not the best quality, that's just not the best quality, and I have a lot of pieces that I feel like are gonna last me a long time. So I've been more strategic, I guess, in that way of like buying clothes that I know is gonna last me a long time and stuff, even if it's a little bit pricey. But I do love a good deal, and I feel like people assume that I always like spend hundreds and thousands of dollars on clothes and stuff because I love fashion, but that's not true. What's one of my biggest fears? Okay, this is gonna sound so funny. I don't want to say it. Oh, I'm scared of the ocean. I'm scared of sharks. I'm scared of any animal that is big. I don't know, it brings me a lot of fear. And there's something funny that my husband finds is so funny. When I told him, he was just laughing. But I am just scared of dinosaurs. I just am. They look scary. I know it's funny, but to me they're just scary looking, and I would never ever go to like a museum with dinosaurs. That would absolutely freak me out. Or just any animals that are like big. That's just what scares me. I don't like going to like aquariums either, because I think the feeling of like just water surrounding you, that's scary. Like I would not do that. So I would say those are my biggest fears, and I know some people already know that and they laugh at that, and it's fine. I'm not, you know, sensitive in that way. But yeah, that's one of my biggest fears. This is my dream for the next 5 years. Okay, I feel like 5 years is just gonna fly by. Something that I would love to accomplish in 5 years is grow my channel. I would love to have a community and have people who are just who genuinely, you know, enjoy watching my content, and, you know, just to have a really great community. I think that that's one of the main reasons why I started YouTube. Which leads to my next question, is why did I start YouTube? So for me, I always had kind of that desire since I was a little kid. I always wanted to start a YouTube channel just because it was trending at the time, and I didn't really know like why I was doing it or why I wanted to. After some time of really reflecting on why did I want to do this, I think it just goes down to community. I want to have a community. I want to have a space online where I can feel like myself, where I can share, you know, my life and have people who are supportive and stuff. I know that when you start social media, when you know, start posting your content, you're literally exposing yourself to everyone in the world, and that thought is a little bit scary, that, you know, as your channel grows, you have less privacy. And that's one of the things that I think that I've really considered and thought of what happened if my channel grows and the privacy things. I don't know. I don't really know, honestly, what would happen. I don't know how I would feel. I guess we would just have to wait and see until we cross that bridge. But as of now, I feel like I'm barely trying to get like the hang of everything. I'm trying to, you know, be more confident, filming in public and not being scared of putting myself out there. You know, a lot of people will like your content, a lot of people won't like your content, and that's just the reality of it. People are always gonna find a reason to not like you. They're always gonna find a reason to hate you, and that's just something that just comes with you posting your life online. And that's one of the things that I talked about with my husband too, is like, I don't know how I feel, how I would feel like for it to go really good for me, you know, what would happen. But I think that that's just something that I'm like too worried about right now. But I just want to build a community. I want to have people that, you know, enjoy my content again. I want to be able to eventually have my own brand, as well as like in person. One of the things that I want to do as well, which I'm starting soon, a young women's small group soon, and that's something that's always been my desire as well, is just to have a community of girls who love God, who support each other, have a group where we can just be like sisters. That has always been my desire, my prayer, and I'm finally doing that as well. So that is a very exciting thing for me. How long have I been Christian? So I have been Christian all of my life. I was literally born into a Christian household, so I've always known of God, but I've had my process as well, like most people. I have a testimony, you know, of just me going out of my way to experience other things that are just not worth it. And I can do a full story on that as well. You know, my encounter with God, which is another question that I also got, is I encounter God and how did it change my life? And for me, I was, you know, going through a very tough time as a early or late teenager. Just being in a relationship that was really, really toxic, that I thought was, you know, real love, and you know, I wanted to marry this person and everything, and turns out they were very toxic and it was just not good for me. In some way I was just chained to that person where I felt like I couldn't leave, and I felt like, you know, like we can fix this and stuff, when in reality it just wasn't the right person. And I feel like in that moment, the reason why it was a hard time for me to let go of that person wasn't really because of love. I think it was because of the fear of being alone. I had a fear of, oh my gosh, if I'm not with this person, I'm never gonna find anybody and I'm gonna be alone. And that's one of the things that I hated. And I feel like God really had to move my heart, and he really had to change my perspective. And it was just kind of like a click for me. That's like, wow, it just clicked that, you know what, I deserve so much better than this. This is not for me. This is not what God wants for me. It's okay to be single. It's okay to be alone for a while. It's okay to work on yourself, you know, for the right person. And I think that was a process in itself. And I think that's when I really had an encounter with God, is when I was like, God, I can't do this anymore. I feel, you know, helpless. I feel unworthy. Because someone wasn't constantly showing me love, I felt that I didn't deserve it. And so I think that's one of the things that really changed my relationship with God. And when I started taking him seriously, it was in that moment. I serve in church. I serve as a lead vocalist on Sundays, and then are also leading a worship, like being an actual worship leader for the young adults ministry, which is very exciting, but it's also a lot. So I have been training and, you know, taking the classes and stuff to prepare myself for that, because for me, worship is a very sensitive thing. It's very delicate, and it's something that should never be taken lightly. So it's something that I definitely want to prepare for, and I don't want to be, you know, that I want to prepare for. I want to make sure that I'm doing things right, and, you know, because God deserves excellence in every area and everything that we do. He deserves excellence. And so that's one of my main things that I'm doing right now, which is leading worship. I'm a lead vocalist on Sunday, and I'm a worship leader for young adults worship. So those are the things that I'm focusing on right now. I'm also in charge of the creative department of my church, which means we, you know, post on social media, post content on social media, make sure the graphics are there for Sunday. All of that I'm in charge of, making sure we get pictures and videos of Sunday, and all of that is what I'm in charge of. And we have an amazing team who has been doing an awesome job, and we're just wanting to continue to grow in that area. So those are the main two things. And then I'm also a small group leader in my church. We are starting small group season in about 2 to 3 weeks. So that's so exciting. Those are the 3 things that I'm doing right now in church. Do you struggle with comparison? You know, I feel like I do, but not as much as I used to before. I think before I was a huge, like, people pleaser, where I feel like I couldn't think for myself. I couldn't do anything for myself. I always had to or wanted to please other people. But that's one of the things that I've been working on, and I feel like I have become better at, is being my own person, is doing what I like, and not trying to please anybody, not trying to impress anybody, and just being myself. And that's one of the hardest things that I honestly had to do, if I'm being very honest. Where do I get my style inspiration? So if you guys didn't know, I love fashion so much. I have always loved fashion at a very young age, and I had my stage where I was like, I think 13 to like 16, even till now. I feel like, where I was just experimenting. I tried everything. What do I like? What don't I like? And I feel like up to this moment, like even now, I'm finally getting a grasp of what I actually like and what looks good on my body shape, what, you know, looks flattering on me, what works, what doesn't work, and just finding my personal style. I think that's one of the things that I've discovered recently. Biggest inspiration, I feel like I don't have a person who I look up to, but I use Pinterest. I am a huge Pinterest girl. Pinterest is my best friend for literally everything. That's where I get my inspo from. Love it. And I could not live without Pinterest. I'm sorry, I just couldn't. I could get rid of Facebook, get rid of Instagram, TikTok, but not Pinterest. The last question as we finish up here is morning or night person. So I honestly don't know. I like to say like maybe a little bit of both. Lately I've been sleeping kind of early and waking up early, but I think I'm becoming a little bit more of a morning person right now. My mornings a lot more, you know, kind of like trying to get more into my word in the morning. Enjoy just my mornings, my slow, quiet mornings. So yeah. Alright, that is it. My makeup is done. I'm gonna just do my hair really quickly, and this is what my hair and makeup all looks like all together. Thank you so much for hanging around and chatting with me. I love you guys all, and I hope that you continue to find my videos amusing and that you subscribe, like, and comment. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!